what's happening in Greenland is less confusing, but super interesting, and just a incredible story. Even as the president doubles down for the umpteenth time on saying the U.S. must control Greenland, meeting at the White House between the Vice President, Secretary of State, and the foreign ministers of Denmark and Greenland went horribly. And the press conference that the two foreign ministers had after the meeting, I've never seen anything like it. They were like so sad. They were so glum. They were so downbeat. We saw in the run-up to the meeting today at the White House a lot of statements out of Europe and out of Denmark, particularly, and out of Greenland, about leaders saying we don't want to be part of the United States. We're extraordinary story. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling. NATO countries saying they're going to send military personnel to Greenland to basically defend against a potential attack by the biggest partner country in NATO, and the president ratcheting things up on social media and statements saying, no, we're going to take Greenland. I need the whole thing. So here's the headline from the Washington Post about the meeting. Although they did announce some sort of working group to continue to have a conversation, seemed like a fig leaf. Overall, the reaction from the participants was very negative. And as I mentioned, we'll see in a moment, the press conference was very negative. Here's the headline in the Washington Post. Vance hosted Greenland meeting ends with, quote, fundamental disagreement. Diplomats from Denmark and Greenland agreed to set up, quote, a high-level working group after meeting with Vice President Vance, Secretary Rubio at the White House, but said there was little agreement so far. The president had some comments, including mocking Denmark, and Greenland, which we'll listen to in a moment. But I want you to hear this sad sack sound bites from the press conference that the two foreign ministers had after meeting with Secretary Rubio and the vice president. Here is the Danish foreign minister, number 4, please.
But it's not that I'm now, saying everything is solved. It's not solved. We didn't manage, but I honestly speaking, I didn't believe that was doable. We didn't manage to change the American position. It's clear that the president has this wish of conquering over Greenland. We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom. There's a government in Greenland with support from 3/4 of the Greenlandic population. The premier made it very, very clear yesterday that Greenland, for the time being and for foreseeable future, will remain within the kingdom of Denmark. And therefore, this is a common position that we want to work with our American friends and allies, but it must be a respectful cooperation and it must respect the red lines.
So just as we don't know what's going to happen in Iran, nobody I think on the planet can tell you what's going to happen in Iran. How this thing with Greenland's going to end is part of why I'm so attracted to this story as a journalist. Is this is a real puzzle. The president's not backing down. It's pretty clear, I think with anybody who knows Donald Trump, he doesn't want to invade Greenland. He wants to use the threat of a military invasion to strike a bargain where the United States gets a lot of what he's asking for. So here's the president. Those of you who don't like when the president's a sarcastic bully, please turn down the audio and avert your eyes. Number 2, please.
Now it sounds like you are saying that you would potentially acquire Greenland by force. That would be a NATO country.
The United.
Are you saying that? Would you do that?
No, you're saying that.
Would you
I
acquire
didn't
that by
say it.
force
No,
right
you're
now?
telling me that that's what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm going to do.
So what are the options?
Your network doesn't know either.
The Danish foreign minister said that there's still fundamental differences after the meeting with Rubio and with the vice president. Are you willing to leave the NATO alliance in order to get what you want with Greenland? What are the options right now?
Well, I wouldn't be telling you what I'm willing to do, certainly. I'm not going to give up options, but it's very important. Greenland's very important for the national security, including of Denmark. And the problem is, there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it if Russia or China wants to occupy Greenland. But there's everything we can do. You found that out last week with Venezuela. There's everything we can do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it. But I have a very good relationship with Denmark, and we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work.
Okay, let's play one more bite from the president from this same session. in the Oval, where he suggests that this is zero sum. Either the United States takes Greenland, or Russia or China does. Number 3, please.
Let's see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens. They're going to brief me on the meeting right after this conference. In fact, the sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know exactly what happened. But we have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know. We'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome. We're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything about it.
More than what they can do than
Well, we're going to see. I mean, look, we're going to see what happens, but we need it. I'm not the first one. This was talked about by President Truman, and 40 years before President Truman, they were talking about it. They've been talking about this for 100 years. This is not anything so new. A lot of people don't realize that. This was a hot subject. Probably not as hot as it is now, but it was a hot subject for a long time. We need it for national security, and that includes for Europe. And I spoke with, as you know, Mark, the head of NATO, and he really wants to see something happen. It's very important for national security.
Okay. I'm so baffled by where this is going. Stephen, what's your best sense? Is this something that's going to gestate over a long period of time? Is it going to be brought to a head in the next few weeks or months? Or how do you see this developing?
Well, I was interested by the timing of this because Greenland was a big story as Trump was taking office. You might remember a few of his kind of close allies did a trip to Greenland, and then it just quieted down. We didn't hear much about it. Then suddenly, after I think it potentially is related to Venezuela, there's sort of this momentum that they feel, and they want to bring this back into the conversation. Maybe they feel like the American public is more on board after an extremely clean and precise military operation in Venezuela. I still, to me, that's still an open question. The timing aspects is just a couple of my theories there. And Greenland has been reinforced multiple times. It's not for sale, so you can't buy it unless there's real military action. And there are all these NATO implications, as that reporter alluded to. So it's really hard to predict where this is going. But the one piece that might be really an interesting conversation I potentially agree with Trump on is the national security strategic importance of Greenland. And so, a mentor of mine once had this great line. He said, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And just because it is potentially important doesn't mean it's the right move to grab it.
Yeah. The Quinnipiac poll today, I forget the number, but it was like 4% of Americans thought military action was the right thing to do. Kristin, I don't know if you know Republican political strategist Jeff Rowe. You ever heard of that guy?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
He was on Next Up last week, and we talked about this concept of winning over the hearts and minds of the people in Greenland. Reuters reported maybe paying them cash money. I'll ask you the same question I asked Jeff. Your answer will most certainly be better. If you wanted to win over the hearts and minds of the Greenlanders, it doesn't seem what's happening now is working. You see a lot of negative reaction. They don't want to be bullied or bought or intimidated. If the goal is to win over the hearts and minds of them, how would you do that? What would the messaging for that be?
I mean, a signing bonus isn't a bad idea, right? You become part of the country, you get a tax rebate or some financial incentive. But I think going back to for me, the Greenland situation is bigger than just taking it because it's here. I mean, there is I've talked to many folks in the military and who have been in these meetings before who truly believe that the next major conflict is going to be in the Arctic, just between Russia and China. They are coming there. I mean, the president's absolutely right. That is happening. So I think we need to be able to communicate that from, a standpoint of you will be in danger and you do not have the ability to defend yourselves. You need to be part of a larger country, the most powerful one in the world, or else you are going to come in for people who aren't as nice or as devoted to freedom as we are. I think that would be part of it. There's a number of different things that we need to do in order to even make this happen, whether it's by purchasing it or whatever kind of treaty deal we come up with. I mean, just the ships that are able to be in motion up there, we don't even have enough of them. The people that know how to put ships together aren't even alive anymore because it's been so long since we've made them. And so maybe if there's some program where we, create jobs and some sort of stimulus package there that people from Greenland help make us the ships, and we teach them how to and have a whole program there. There's a number of different things we can do that can help the lives there and help the economy there, and also keep that region safe, as well as the safety of the United States.
Yeah, make sure you tell Jeff Rowe, your colleague, that your answer was indeed significantly better than his. Cozy Earth, one of our favorite sponsors. Right now, 20% off everything on the site. Someone asked me today, which pants should they buy? They're all great. Buy the ones that look nicest to you. They're all incredibly comfortable, incredibly versatile. But there's more than pants on the Cozy Earth site, of course. 20% off everything on the site to start your new year off right. Give your home the luxury it deserves. Make home the best part of life. HosieEarth.com. Promo code 2-way gets you 20% off everything on the site. Post-purchase survey. Tell them you heard about Cozy Earth from me, whether it's the Baja bedding set or the Bubble Cuddle blanket, any of the pants, and of course, all the towels. The towels are incredible, and you won't find a better deal on an A plush, there you go, set of towels. So right now, CozyEarth.com, promo code 2-way. Start your new year off right. Again, give your home the luxury it deserves. Use the promo code 2-way for 20% off everything on the site.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the 2-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and 2-way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.